Rolling, rolling, rolling.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, I'm sitting here with the great Grant Cardone, and it was funny.
I'm only great because I'm frequent.
You're frequent, man.
Dude, I'm everywhere, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, how else can you be great? Nobody knows you. Nobody knows you.
Absolutely. Well, it's funny you say that because, how am I going to interview you? You're everywhere. I mean, so there really is not any part of your life that somebody can't see.
That's
I mean,
right.
I've seen you on Periscope,
Right.
on your couch. I've seen you in your car.
Juicing.
You're blabbing.
On my deck.
Yeah, absolutely. So
serious, humorous.
You're everywhere, brother.
Dude, I actually streamed one night me sleeping from midnight till 6:30 in the morning. It was an experiment to
Do you
see.
snore?
No, I don't. and I've kicked some people out of bed that did snore.
Right.
But I wanted to see like the range of people, what people want for content. And I said, I mean, how broad is the range? And I actually streamed one night from 12:30 to like 6:30 in the morning. I think there was 2,500 people that watched from all over the world. I'm like, dude,
Watch you sleep.
They're waiting for something to happen in the bedroom, one of the two. But it's interesting to me the different things people want to see and hear. It's not just sales. It's not just leadership. It's not just money.
Right.
They also want to see behind the scenes of somebody's life, and it's too bad that when people make it, they tend to start shutting down.
Right.
They tend to start kind of like hiding, and I always wanted to see inside that guy's life.
Right.
Like, what are they doing when they wake up or when they go to sleep or, after they're at the office?
That's kind of what I wanted to ask you. I mean, what does someone not know about Grant? And one of the things, man, I got to say is this, your books, your titles of your books.
Yeah.
I mean, because I've been in sales for a long time, and there's a lot of people out there that call themselves sales trainers, good people.
Yeah.
And their books are kind of fluffy, 7 steps to this and 4 steps to that.
Uh-huh.
Your books are militant.
Oh, thank you, man. I mean, I got some fluff too,
Yeah, but the names. I mean, sell or be sold, sell to survive.
Yeah.
10x.
Yeah.
The closers.
The closer survival. Yeah.
Yeah, survival guy. I mean,
yeah.
So there's got to be something in your DNA, man. Something in you that's
that's
missing.
what Vaynerchuk says. Vaynerchuk says it's a whole DNA thing, and I'm like, no, dude, it's not a DNA. That's complete garbage. I mean, there's no way it's just DNA because. It's first of all, I don't think that the physical genetic, my mom and my dad are about why I am what I am. It's not in a blood or cells or, I think the thing that people don't know about me is how spiritual I am. I'm actually a very spiritual person, even though I curse. And because I think it's the spiritual content of an individual. When you start getting rid of the stuff that like shuts the power of that individual down, then they have to dance around and be this and be that and try to make everybody love them and like them, and they're not authentic. They're not who they are, and they can't get to the point and say, I want these things and I demand these things. And for me, my books and my programs are really ethical extensions of who I am and what I'm both, one, trying to figure out, and what I want to help other people with.
See, that's what blows my mind. See, you just said without saying it that you haven't arrived yet. You know
no,
what I mean?
definitely not, dude. I told my office this morning, I said, man, I just need like a match. I need a match to blow up. Me and my wife talk about it all the time. When are we going to blow up?
Right.
Constantly, 3 times a week, we have that conversation.
It's
We're
funny.
getting close.
I'd say, and the thing about it is people, you also resonated, hit something I think that resonates with people, that they see you, they get you. There's not, I heard you really basically say that a lot of people are fake. Or a lot of people are not speaking from
I don't think
heart.
people have given themselves permission to be who they are.
Okay.
And I don't think they're fake so much as they haven't given themselves permission to move through the disagreement of the public like I have.
Right.
I have had tremendous disagreement from my group, the group that I first made it in, which was automotive, to outside that. Like, I remember when I was going heavy social, and I had so many people say, it's too much, you post too much, you talk about yourself too much, I'm like, whatever, dude, okay? The haters, the people that hate on me, or it might not even be hate, but those people that take the time to even send energy my way, to tell me what not to do, reminds me of a teacher in school, or my mom, or my dad, or my brother, my sister, people telling me not to do stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not trading positions with any of those people.
Absolutely. Well, let me ask you this. I mean, there's something when you were saying, who you are and talking about really being authentic. That was the word I got.
Yeah.
And if you, when you put money in front of somebody, somebody steals money that's not real, or makes money or creates money that's not real, they call it a counterfeit.
Yeah.
And somebody will hold it up to the light,
Right.
and kind of look in there and say,
Exactly.
this isn't real.
That's
And
right.
I think when they hold you to the light, I think what I think people see is something real.
You can
Love
hold me
him,
to,
hate
like,
him, he's real.
This is what you're going to see. You're going to see a guy that cusses. And I don't even cuss that much. I'm starting to cut it out, actually. But what else are you going to see about me, Am I conceited? I mean, I guess people say I'm conceited or arrogant or boastful, or maybe you see that. Maybe people see that. But, I mean, if you really look through, you're going to see a guy that's, one, doesn't think he's made it, thinks, number two, that he's got tremendous more potential than he does, and somebody that genuinely wants to help people. So, like, if people understood my financial situation, you would understand that selling this book for $25 is not, it's not why we built the book. I mean, do I want the $25? Sure. I mean, whatever. I mean, whatever that means, $25. But I got to sell a lot of these to make,
Right.
I could sell millions, actually. I'd have to sell millions to make a significant impact in my personal financial situation. So I'm doing these things because I'm trying to leave a legacy, really. I want people to read my books 100 years from now. I'm not really, the thing for me would be like, man, the 10X rule. It just hit the top 10 most inspirational books of all time with Og Mandino, Napoleon Hill. Now that's better than money.
Oh, yeah.
See, that's on my financial statement, not just money. If you looked at my financial statement, you wouldn't just see money. You'd see my friends, my family, my daughters, my legacy, man. What's that going to be worth that this Grant Cardone entity dies? And 100 years from now, in the year 2117, they're like, dude, this cat, Cardone, man. This is back when they were doing, look, this set looked like black and white, right? And remember that cat? That cat has some freaking lightning. That to me would be the greatest gift.
So persistence, you're persistent.
Uh-huh.
I was telling somebody the other day, and I want to ask you this question. It kind of leads into the question I want to ask you. Somebody asked me how I knew, that I was meant for sales. And one of the things I can think back is my dad and my mom, but mainly my dad telling me, if you'll shut up, if you'll stop asking me, I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
Or if I give it to you, will you stop talking?
Yeah.
Is that? I mean, I know you're persistent. I mean, you got to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you sleep. I mean, you get something maybe in the middle of the night, then you're up at 5 getting, you're getting content 24/7. Talk about persistence. I know you just did the secret of the sale.
That's
really
basically the greatest secret, the greatest sales secret is about follow-up. We're actually going to go back and retitle that and say follow-up, the greatest sales secret, because we might have left too much mystery in it. But persistence, like if people ask me, hey, what is your number one quality? Like it's not the big idea. It's the persistence on an idea. For instance, I've been working on a TV show with CNBC for, 7 years, 8 years. Since the Turnaround King, Nat Geo picked it up, bought 8 segments, broadcast to them, and dropped their age demographic, so they dropped the show because it freaking most TV studios, they're like, we want to drop that demo to hit that millennial. Well, if you're National Geographic, you're going for bow ties and old people.
Right.
So they were going from the Titanic, you guys. They were going from the Titanic, the old Titanic, Discoveries of the Titanic, to Grant Cardone show, and I dropped their demographic like 20 years.
Right.
And they're like, dude, we can't do that. So they got all fearful of their brand.
That show was awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome too. This was the first, really turnaround show.
Yeah.
And so that was very, very disappointing to me. Extremely like, oh my God, are you kidding, dude? Because if they'd have kept it on 8 segments, we'd have had a freaking hit show now for 7 years, no doubt about it. And I'm not being prejudiced on that. But back to your point, I've been working with different TV networks now for 7 or 8 years, whenever that was. I got a letter from CNBC last Friday, say, hey man, sign this legal thing. We're trying to push forward on this deal. But dude, it's persistence, man. People see where I'm doing well, but you don't see where I fail. Constantly failing, not really failing. By definition, it's not failing if you don't quit.
Right.
So, back to what your parents told you. Dude, stop it. Don't ask me again.
Right.
Don't ask me again. From the authority of your life.
Right.
From the king and queens of the kid's life. Don't ask me again. I told you, don't ask me again. And it starts breaking that individual down. We're working on a book right now called 10X for Kids.
Oh, that's
And,
awesome.
and it's going to be, the kid lives in a 10X world, 10X town. We think we're going to call it 10X town, right? And everybody's 10X. Yeah, ask me again. You know, can you imagine?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, if everybody was taught persistence, you wouldn't even have to go to school.
Right. Yeah, that's
Right?
that would be.
You like it. You
Oh, I
want
love
some,
it,
don't
man.
you?
Yeah, absolutely. That's all.
Guy's tripping right now. You got kids?
I do 3.
Yeah.
3. My kids. I think my kids live in 10X town.
Yeah.
they
It's like
hammer me.
Tinseltown, but it's 10X town.
Yeah.
They hammer, right?
Oh, they hammer me, man.
Dude, they're
I
good
love it
too.
though. I don't stop them. You know
No,
what I mean?
I never
Because-
stop them. I tell my kids, I'm like, look, I won't tell you no. You ask me, you know the rules. I'm not going to tell you no, but I'm not going to tell you yes right now. You know, you got to come up with a different way to ask me, because you know what? You just keep hammering the same way over and over and over again. It ain't working.
Right.
So come up with a different pitch, come up with a different angle, and that's what the greatest sales secret is about. How many different ways can you follow a guy up so they're not sending cease and desist? By the way, you should have as a target the cease and desist.
Right. You think that's
But you shouldn't really, like a really creative professional person would never get a cease and desist.
right?
They would get, man, it's amazing how many reasons you come up to call.
They'd sell them because somebody's going to
yeah.
figure out that they're passionate about what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let me ask you this then. Going off of that, a couple more questions here. But I mean, I'm thinking of like going in the front door. Every single salesperson, they try to hammer in the front door.
Yeah,
If they
yeah.
can't get through, they stop.
Yeah.
Instead of looking for the back door, looking for a
Yeah.
window that's
Yeah,
open.
yeah.
I mean, climbing through the roof and ripping the shingles off, doing something.
Maybe the door, maybe the opening's not there. Maybe it's through the charity, or maybe it's through church, or maybe it's through the community meeting, or maybe it's through network marketing, or maybe it's through an article, or maybe it's through social media. And going on your page, like every time I'm talking to somebody on social, I'll do it to David here in a second. Hey man, spending time with my buddy David Villa at David Villa, IDP. What's
IPD
your is that your email, your Twitter handle?
Yeah, IPD, man.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to flow him power, okay? I don't, look, there's so much power in the world, man. I don't know why people are worried about, including me in a tweet, or ripping off somebody's quote, man. You're much better quoting Grant or whoever, Napoleon Hill or Jim Ziegler, or whoever the guy is. Right. You're much better quoting somebody and using their quote and saying it came from them, because it actually gives you more power.
That's good.
So I think the social media is definitely an angle. Hey, just visited with ABC Plumbing, great company, even though you didn't get their company. Follow them on their Facebook page.
That's good. One last question, man. This is just, who inspired you in sales? I mean, I know there's tons of
first of all, Jose did. Jose, he was from Cuba,
right?
And he was this car salesman, and I was like, dude, he was the top guy in the store, and I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. He'd been selling automobiles for 12 or 13 years, and they were saying he was the cat daddy, the Mac daddy, the bomb. I'm like, dude, that's a bomb.
He was a sacred cow.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I don't want to be that guy, sitting around eating.
See, that's the difference.
Waiting, sitting around waiting, looking out the window, reading the local newspaper. I'm like, I cannot be that guy. That was inspiration for me.
Right.
By the way, I've got as much inspiration from people that I don't want to be. And Jose was a good guy. I'm not saying anything bad about Jose, but I don't want to trade. Huh?
He was comfortable.
Yeah, totally. And then Jackie Cooper, when I got turned on to Cooper, when I was 25 years old, dude, it was like, bing! I listened to one of his cassette tapes. The car dealer went to an independent auto dealer association meeting, came back with a cassette tape, threw it on my table. I threw it in my car. I listened to it. I was like, oh my God. It was hope, man. Almost like Obama.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa. I get a free phone. I get something. Ooh, it's going to be different. But what happened was, and that wasn't really that political. It's just a joke. Right. Because I've actually done extremely well under Mr. Obama, and I thank the Democrats for putting people to sleep. Okay, it just leaves more for me to go out and harvest. So what happened was, I listened to that cassette, dude. I was like, oh my God, man, there's actually a track. There's something I can say, something I can do. And then I ordered his videos. They were Betamax, maybe you remember.
VHS tape.
It was Betamax first, and then it was the VHS, and I had to go get a machine. Right. And remember those days, and I listened to those, $3,000 I paid, and I listened to those things over and over and over again. And I remember the first time I plugged in the video at my home. I remember where I was living with my mom, actually. I was 25 years old, broke, plugged it in, know exactly the color of the couch I'm sitting on. It was a couch, not a sofa. And I plugged it in, and this guy came on and started talking. I'm like, That's my deal right there. I knew the second I saw him, I said, that is what I will do for a living.
See, I think that's what you're doing. Thank you, by the way, man, for letting me come and talk to you. But I think that's what you're doing every time someone watches you. I see people that, because the amazing part about it is you answered that the number one thing to inspire you is someone who was comfortable, someone who was told, hey, that's the standard.
Yeah.
So you were like, listen, that's not the standard to me. And so I think that every time someone turns you on, that's what they're getting, man.
Yeah.
I really do.
Well, thank you for saying that. And then when I saw Jackie go broke, and I saw him buy car dealerships, it just really taught me, what are you giving somebody hearts to? And so when I saw that, I'm like, oh, I don't want to be that guy. And then I worked for Tom Stuker. I learned a lot from Tom. I learned what I wanted to be and what I didn't want to be, right? And then I saw how Tom depended on this one vertical, and Jackie Cooper did, and I'm like, dude, these guys that depend on one little narrow vertical, like automotive, okay? I love automotive. You guys have been awesome, unbelievable, wonderful to me. I've learned so much, but it's a vertical. Yeah. And I'm like, I got to go this way through. And I mean, probably one of the things I'm most proud of is my ability that I have been able to like go out and be in other spaces. Yeah. When a lot of people tell me, you'll never do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing about automotive is, you're still your name just resonates with the automotive dealers, man. I think I said a long time ago when I was interviewing on the radio show once, I said, why won't I didn't say it the way that, hey, why won't you leave the automotive industry alone? I said, why won't they leave you alone? And you smiled when I said that, because the truth of the matter is they won't leave you alone. You're doing all these other things, but here they are.
Well, they don't need me. The car dealers don't need me. But I know that I need them. I need the car dealers, and I need the people in the automobile industry. And I love the automobile industry because the people there, frankly, they do want to learn. Yeah. And I learned so much about sales there. Unfortunately, the industry is starting to become so dependent upon electronics and technology, and believing that the sales cycle's, not going to exist. It's not true. No, okay. I still, no matter how much. The sales cycle is going to die because the sales people and the sales managers are not improving themselves to the degree. It's like the ATM machine. The ATM, not the ATM machine, but the bank teller. What would they call the chick that sat in the window?
The bank teller.
The bank teller. Okay, teller. She didn't go away because of technology. She went away because she didn't offer a service that I wanted to wait for. Yeah. Because as long as you offer a service that people are willing to, like, oh, what's your name? Oh, wow, that's awesome. Wow, nice smile. As long as you offer that, you're not going out of business. No piece of technology will ever get rid of you.
It's good stuff. Thank you, sir.
Hey, you got it, man. Thank you. Thanks for coming down to Miami.
No, man, thanks for having me. That was Grant Cardone.